I have a little brother. My little brother's name is Guy Christopher. Now, Guy Christopher, he's 13 years younger than me, but he tells anybody who listens, when I grow up, I want to be like my big brother, Mark. See, my brother also wants to be a professional athlete. This kid, all-star baseball player. I mean, his dream is to make it to the major leagues. And he'd come up and say, hey, Mark, can you pitch me some? I go, man, I don't got time for that. And he'd take the ball and he'd just toss it at me and catch it. I said, what? He said, you want to play catch? I said, no, what's wrong with you? Can't you hear? And he'd look at me and say, can I hang out with you? Get out of here, you little punk. I'd take his ball and throw it as far as I could. Now, my brother, he would never talk back, but he'd run away after that ball. And when he got far enough away, he'd always stop. And he would just look back. And it was a look as if to say, I just want to hang out with my brother. Get out of here. My brother grew up okay. He grew up so much better than me. He married his longtime girlfriend, Gina. I'll never forget those two come over to my house with these big smiles on their face. My brother goes, hey, Mark, I want you to be one of the first to know. Gina and I, we're going to have a baby. I said, what? I'll be an uncle? He said, Uncle Mark. We were so excited. And he was sitting in the waiting room of the doctor's office, and the nurse came in and called his name. He got out of his chair, and he started following the nurse, and he said, Nurse, I'm just getting really dizzy. She goes, oh, okay, sit back down. But before she could come back and grab him, my little brother, he just passed out. Fell over backwards. He hit his head on the floor in the doctor's office. I was on the road wrestling on tour, and I remember getting this phone call, and they said, Mark, your brother Guy Christopher had a falling accident at the doctor's office. He's at the Sarasota hospital. I traveled to the Sarasota hospital as fast as I could. I took the elevator up to the ICU, and I remember running down the hall to his room, and when I opened up his door to walk in, I could see these machines keep my brother alive. I said no. I asked everybody in the room to please leave. I just wanted to be alone with my little brother. You see, my mother died 2 weeks before this. How much can your heart take? I got down on my knees. I grabbed his hand. I said, God, I don't ask you for much. We need a miracle. He's only 21. He's going to be a daddy. And just then, the door opens. It's the doctor with my family. So I get up, and as they're walking in, I can see this look on the doctor's face. It's a look you never forget. He just says, I'm sorry, there's no brain activity. I said, no, there's going to be a miracle. There's nothing more we can do. We had to make the decision as a family to let my brother go. It was the hardest thing I have ever done or ever will have to do, to sit there and watch my little brother die. But there was a miracle. We donated his heart and all his organs. Doctors told us that it may have saved the lives of 4 or 5 people that are on transplant lists that may not have lived long enough if it wasn't for my brother's gift. It just wasn't our miracle. 1 month after my little brother died, his precious baby, my little niece, Valika, was born. She never got to see her daddy. But that little girl's a life at our family get-togethers. She's so talented. Her daddy would be so proud. Guys, if I could just go back in time, if I could just grab that ball just one more time. Why couldn't I have been a better brother? Choices. We are defined by our choices.